Renee Biran's story is one of those My 600 Elbla life episodes that does not open like a normal weight loss journey, because from the first few seconds, you can already feel that this woman is not just uncomfortable in her body, she is trapped inside a life that has been closing in on her for years. One painful morning at a time, Renee says she is killing herself slowly day by day.
At this point, I'm just killing myself slowly.
And honestly, that is not even an exaggeration, because when you see her trying to get out of bed, trying to stand, trying to breathe through the pain in her back and legs, it feels less like someone starting a new chapter, and more like someone begging for one last chance before her body completely gives out. At 53 years old, Renee is living in a body that makes every ordinary thing feel like a punishment. A shower is not just a shower anymore. It is a whole physical event that she has to mentally prepare for, because standing for more than a few minutes feels impossible, walking across the room feels dangerous, and every movement comes with the fear that her legs might fail underneath her. And the saddest part is that Renee knows exactly how bad it is. She is not pretending this is fine. She is not trying to make it sound cute. She is fully aware that her life has become a kind of slow emergency. But awareness by itself does not break an addiction, and that is where her story gets complicated.
My life is wasting away, and I hate it.
Because Renee was not always someone who saw her size as only a problem. She was a former plus-size model, a big is beautiful advocate, and for a long time her weight was tied to her confidence, her identity, and the way she felt seen by the world. And that is what makes her episode so much more layered than just another person eating too much and refusing to change. Renee was not only being asked to lose weight, she was being asked to let go of a version of herself that had once made her feel powerful, wanted, and accepted, even while that same body was slowly turning into a prison she could no longer escape.
When I wake up in the morning, I know I made it through another night because the pain is there to remind me that I'm still alive.
And that is the dangerous line in Renee's story. There is nothing wrong with wanting to feel beautiful, and there is nothing wrong with rejecting shame, but there is a point where self-love can get tangled up with denial so tightly that you cannot tell where confidence ends and self-destruction begins. Renee had spent years trying to make peace with her size, but by the time she reached 631 pounds, this was no longer about beauty standards or confidence or proving people wrong. This was about whether her heart, lungs, kidneys, and legs could keep carrying the weight of all those years.
When I was 5, my grandmother saw how unhappy I was, and she would try to use food to comfort me.
Her childhood explains a lot, even though it does not excuse everything. Renee talks about feeling rejected by her mother, feeling like she was treated as a mistake, and being comforted with food at a young age by her grandmother. And you can see how food became something more than a meal before she even understood what was happening. It became warmth, safety, memory, and love in a world where she did not always feel protected. Then came more trauma, more abuse, more pain, and every time life hurt her, food was waiting there like the one thing that did not judge her, did not leave her, and did not ask her to explain why she was broken.
Feeder is the person that provides the food.
That is how the cycle starts, and it does not look dramatic in the beginning. It starts with eating because you are sad, eating because you are lonely, eating because you feel unwanted, eating because for a few minutes the food makes the noise in your head go quiet. But then years pass, the weight climbs, your movement disappears, and the thing that used to comfort you becomes the thing controlling your entire life. By the time we see Renee, her days have shrunk down to pain, television, waiting, and depending on her children to bring her the food that is making her worse.
Food has always played an important part in my life because in the South, food is love.
And this is where the enabling becomes painful to watch, because her kids clearly love her, and you can tell they do not want to hurt their mother. But love can become dangerous when it starts serving the addiction instead of saving the person.
It's just everything's gone downhill, and they know food makes me happy.
They bring her food because she wants it, because it makes her happy, because saying no probably feels cruel in the moment. But Dr. Now has said this in so many different ways on this show. If somebody is eating themselves to death, bringing them more food is not kindness. It is helping the illness stay alive.
Just like alcoholic, alcohol make you happy, give them more alcohol.
When Renee finally travels to Houston, it does not feel like a hopeful road trip. It feels like a warning.
I'm just ready to get to Houston and start a new life.
She is in pain before she even gets to the appointment. Her breathing is bad, her legs are weak, and by the time she is in front of Dr. Now, there is no space left for soft language. Dr. Now is not there to shame her, but he is also not there to protect her feelings from the truth. He looks at the situation exactly for what it is. Renee is in immediate danger, and if something does not change fast, she may not survive long enough to get another chance.
This is a really big step for me.
Then comes the number that makes everything real, 601 pounds, and the second that number hits, it explains the entire episode.
You are at 631 pounds.
Oh my God.
The pain, the breathing, the fear, the way her life has been shrinking, the way her body is working overtime just to keep her alive.
I'm just worried. I'm tired. I'm hurting. It's like I'm not getting enough air.
Dr. Now admits her to the hospital, starts her on a controlled diet, and immediately the weight starts coming off because inside the hospital there is no room for negotiation.
Admitting you to the hospital and starting you on a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, low carb diet.
Okay.
No extra food, no comfort meals, no family bringing in whatever she asks for.
Physical therapy to work with you daily so we can.
Just the plan, the staff, and the reality of what her body can do when the addiction is cut off from its supply.
So now we need to work to try to save your life.
Renee loses 48 pounds, which is a big deal, but Dr. Now is not fooled by hospital progress alone because he has seen this pattern too many times. Losing weight in a controlled environment is one thing.
583. You lost 48 pounds. So that's great.
Going home, sitting with your stress, your cravings, your pain, and your old habits without anybody watching you every second is a completely different fight, and Renee's biggest problem is not just food.
I'm excited about getting out of the hospital.
It is movement. Dr. Now keeps telling her that she has to build stamina, she has to do physical therapy, she has to walk, because even if she loses enough weight for surgery, her body still has to be strong enough to survive it.
But I'm scared about the fact that I'm going to be alone for the next couple of months.
But once Renee leaves that hospital bubble, the old problems start creeping back in. She struggles with pain, she struggles with transportation.
Ow! Ow, my leg! Call an ambulance.
Here, come on.
She says she hurts her leg, and when she comes back having lost only 8 pounds in 2 months.
And she only lost 8 pounds in past 2 months.
You can feel Dr. Now's frustration before he even says it. Because yes, pain is real, and yes, getting around at her size is brutally hard, but the scale is also telling the truth. She is not making enough progress on her own, and Dr. Now knows that if she cannot follow the plan before surgery, surgery could become dangerous instead of life-saving.
Getting better.
Come on, Renee. You know that's not true. The physical therapy we send to you, you turn them away. And,
That is where Renee's journey starts to feel like a tug-of-war between the part of her that wants to live and the part of her that still wants to retreat into the same comfort that almost killed her. She wants change, but she wants it to happen without the full pain of changing. She wants surgery, but she has to prove she can handle the responsibility that comes before and after it. And Dr. Now makes it clear that he cannot keep rescuing her with hospital stays if she is not going to take the fight seriously when she is alone.
aerobics. And you're going to go 3 times a week. And if you skip even once, we're done here. I'm not going to play any games with you.
Eventually, Renee starts doing the deeper work, and this is where the episode becomes more than just a scale story. Therapy matters for her because her body was carrying the visible weight, but her mind was carrying the reasons. The rejection, the abuse, the shame, the feeling of being unloved.
I explained to you how bad your body is.
All of that had been feeding the addiction long before she ever reached 631 pounds. And once she starts facing those wounds instead of just eating over them, you can finally feel something shifting.
And kidney failure, partly from all the abuse that you have put your body through all these years.
When Renee comes back to Dr. Now, she needed to lose 30 pounds and she loses 29. Technically, she misses the goal by 1 pound, but this time it feels different. She is trying, she is moving, she is following the plan. She is not just sitting there hoping the number magically changes while doing the same things at home. And Dr. Now sees that, so he approves her for surgery, and for once, it does not feel like somebody being rewarded for excuses. It feels like a woman finally earning the chance she had been begging for. And what makes Renee's progress so emotional is that even through all the pain, she still has personality. She jokes with Dr. Now. She talks about wanting her bikini body. She smiles like someone who can finally imagine a future that does not revolve around pain.
Losing 4 pounds a month on your own before that. So this is a good improvement. And I'll say it's close enough. So I am approving you for weight loss surgery.
And food, and that is why this is not a villain episode. Renee is not a Stephen Assanti type of chaos. She is not someone you watch just to yell at the screen. She is a woman who got buried under trauma, addiction, and years of damage, but somewhere under all of that there was still a funny, resilient, grateful person trying to come back. By the end of her episode, Dr. Now says her heart, lungs, and kidneys are doing better, and that line matters because it reminds you that this was never just about looking smaller. This was about keeping her alive. This was about giving her children more time with their mother. This was about Renee getting pieces of her life back after spending years trapped in a body that demanded everything from her and gave almost nothing back. But sadly, Renee's story did not end with a clean happily ever after. Renee was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare autoimmune condition where the immune system attacks the nerves, causing weakness, tingling, and in severe cases, paralysis. Renee Biran passed away on May 14, 2021, at only 56 years old, and knowing that makes her episode hit so much harder because when you watch her smiling, joking, trying to walk, trying to believe that the future is still waiting for her, you are watching someone fight for time she ultimately did not get enough of.